Hey bro, what's up? Hope you're vibing. So here's the lowdown on the new ARK update, patch 1.075.006. And yeah, there's a lot to unpack, so I'll walk you through the patch notes and what actually matters without making it feel like a dry read. First off, the big headline. A brand new creature has stepped into the frozen shadows, the Ossidon, and it's been sprinkled into cold biomes across Ragnarok, Valguero, and the center. So you're going to start seeing it roaming and wrecking stuff in those chilly zones. It's not just some background prop. This thing is presented as a frost-forward juggernaut-type presence, with mechanics that are built to make cold regions feel dangerous in a new way. So expect encounters to be more intense than your average snow dino run-in. Right next to the Ossidon's arrival, the patch also included a neat stack of bug fixes and stability patches that actually matter if you've been dealing with weird crashes or cosmetic bugs. One of the fixes patched a crash that could occur when returning to the main menu after equipping a dino skin, which is a small but annoying one for people swapping cosmetics mid-session. Another fix tackled a server crash related to anti-mesh logging that some admins and players were hit by, so that should reduce those abrupt session enders that can ruin a raid or a tame attempt. There were rendering and replication fixes aimed at spectator mode, so if you use spectator features for content or to watch clan fights, visuals should be more consistent now. Textures and visual assets got some attention too. Missing obelisk textures on maps like Extinction and Aberration were corrected, and there were fixes around misplaced pillar placement on fence foundations, which solves some of those annoying building blocking edge cases that break base symmetry. The TEK Replicator damage consistency problem was also addressed, which is one of those quality of life bug squashes that makes combat outcomes less unpredictable when interacting with specific structures. These are the small, grindy things that keep being pointed out in forum threads and then quietly fixed in patches. Not flashy, but crucial. The Ossidon's introduction is deliberately staged. It's spawning on select maps for the moment, and breeding for the creature has been disabled for now, along with restrictions concerning transfers to certain future map content like Lost Colony at launch. That means the initial phase is focused on wild interactions rather than breeding farms or cross-map transfers, and the developers have explicitly indicated they're keeping transfers controlled to avoid unintended exploits or balance issues while the new creature's systems settle in. Beyond creature and crash fixes, there are a handful of quality of life and replication improvements that will likely reduce the odd visual or gameplay inconsistencies players reported after earlier updates. These include fixes around graphics preset registration, cosmetic equip mismatches, where skins could be equipped on the wrong dinos, and various replication or rendering improvements that should make multiplayer sessions feel less jittery when it comes to spectator and damage replication behavior. These are the kind of behind-the-scenes fixes that don't show up in highlight reels but drastically improve day-to-day play. From a lore and thematic standpoint, the Ossidon's frost aesthetic is interesting because it fills a niche in the cold biome predator roster. Large, intimidating, and designed to make cold zones feel more contested and alive. The community posts have positioned the Ossidon as a focal creature for November, tying into seasonal vibes while also serving as a testbed for creature behavior and balance ahead of larger content releases. Its spawn patterns and habitat distribution show a clear intention to make snow biomes a little more intense again, encouraging players to explore or revisit areas that might have been quiet for too long. If you keep an eye on community feedback channels, you'll notice a predictable cycle: reveal, patch, player data and reactions, and then tuning based on what breaks or overperforms. That loop is visible in the way this update was delivered. A clear new creature reveal followed immediately by the hotfix style set of technical fixes to smooth the rollout on consoles and PC. The build changes across platforms were quick to align, which helps servers and players confirm that clients and servers are on the same page regarding version compatibility. All that being said, the patch itself is a mixed bag in the best way. You get a shiny new beast to encounter in the frost, and beneath that, you get a pragmatic cleanup of long-standing annoyances and crash sources. The combination of creature content and engineering fixes points to a team balancing feature rollouts with necessary stability work, so the experience doesn't degrade as more players engage with the new content. The announcements and the changelogs make it clear the Ossidon is intended as a substantial addition rather than a cute cosmetic, and the targeted bug fixes signal a focus on smoother multiplayer functionality and fewer jarring edge case bugs. And let's be real, patches like this one are what keep ARK feeling fresh even years down the line. You've got that blend of hype and housekeeping, a brand new threat in the wild to hunt, tame, or run from, paired with the technical polish that makes servers feel more stable and gameplay less glitchy. If you're jumping back in after a break, this update is one of those where you'll actually notice the difference right away. Fewer crashes, cleaner visuals, and a new reason to head north into those icy territories where the Ossidon's stomping ground is waiting. So yeah, that's the rundown on what changed, what showed up, and why some of those fixes actually matter to how ARK plays out in your next session. The Ossidon is in the wild now on those maps. A handful of important stability and rendering issues were squashed, and the experience overall feels tighter than it did before this patch dropped.